Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Clutch Conversations. It's your boy Mike. We back at you one more again, live on a Thursday night. We got State Property Florida Volume 2 tonight, man. It's going down here in just a few minutes. But first and foremost, shout out to my lovely wife, Takara. Appreciate everything you do. Y'all make sure y'all show some love in the comments, man. And don't stop there. Show the channel some love as well. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and smash that notification bell. Hey, I got a lot of stuff to go through as far as housekeeping goes, so we're going to try to run through it as quick as possible. Takara been picking at me saying I got the longest intro in the game, so, man, we're going to try to make it go quicker for y'all. So real quick, make sure you follow us on Morph Market, man. We really appreciate y'all supporting us out there on Morph Market. We hit the goal that we was trying to hit, and as far as like 250 followers, we hit like 252 or something last time I checked it. So definitely appreciate y'all showing some love. Check us out on Instagram. We got 2 pages. We got the Herp Collectors page, and we also got the show page, Clutch Conversations. So definitely check us out there. Check us out on Facebook, and definitely don't forget to check us out on your favorite audio podcast platform. Clutch Conversations is available on all major podcast platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and more. So definitely check us out there. When you're checking us out on your favorite podcasting platform, please be sure to follow, rate, and review. Also, make sure you support US Art and US Art Florida. The link for both organizations are in the description of this video. Hey, man, I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Jeremy from Boggs Exotic is gonna get into it here in detail in a few minutes, man, but I definitely want to show y'all this, man. This is the auction that was donated by Jeremy from Boggs Exotics, Reptiles, and Steve's Morphs. It's a BMX bike, and it was sponsored by Orlando Powder Room and For Real 3D and Design Company. Man, y'all can see it, man. This is fly, man. So if you're in Daytona, make sure you got your butt in the auction at 8 p.m., man. Bid on this, bid this up. This is super dope, man. Definitely show some love. Speaking of Daytona, man, we about a week or so away, just over a week away. We definitely got Clutch Conversations coming at you 2 times that weekend as part of our 5-show live tour, kicking off with Daytona. So we're going to be streaming live starting 12 noon on both the Saturday and the Sunday. This is sponsored by the homie Charlie from Gray Rider Reptiles. So make sure you check the homie out at www.shedtesting.com. We're running a special promo that weekend for a 20% discount on a single order of individual shed tests. Whether you order 1 shed test, 5, 10, 15, you get 20% off that one order. So definitely be on the lookout for that. The promo code is HC20, and it's going to run from 10 a.m. on Saturday to 10 p.m. on Sunday. So definitely take advantage of that opportunity. Like I say, man, it's the first show of the 5-show live tour kicking off next weekend in Daytona. For those of you who did not see the Untamed Unhinged podcast last night, we are kicking off a new show here on the channel. It's going to be hosted by the homie Chris from the Untamed Unhinged podcast. It's called the Retic Rundown. We're kicking it off September 3rd. It's going to stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What we're looking at right now is every other Tuesday, but we'll see how that go. We might go to weekly, but for right now, every other Tuesday, the Retic Rundown. It's a show obviously focused on retics, and this is part of like a soft rollout of the Herp Collectors network. It's going to be more coming for that in just a little bit, so definitely stay tuned, man. We got a lot of stuff in the oven cooking for y'all, so definitely, man, stay tuned for updates. The Retic Rundown is going down, man. It's going to be super dope. Definitely check us out and show your support. Speaking of support, man, shout out to all the sponsors, man. We're going to pay some bills and kick the sponsor video. We'll be right back. Join KINOVA's Patreon today and unlock hundreds of hours of exclusive educational content designed to help you run a successful ball python business. Get insider information on the latest genetics, hot new combos, and market trends. Enjoy guidance from the world's leading ball python designer. Plus, dive into the new Project Playbook series for in-depth breeding strategies on specific projects. They just dropped the Pod Project Playbook today, so make sure you check that out. Memberships are currently available up to the VIP tier. Hey, elevate your game. Join the KINOVA Patreon today. Art comes in many forms. At Armless Angels, it comes to life. In life, success doesn't come to you. You go to it. In this game, forward thinking is the key to innovation and staying relevant. Plan your work and work your plan. Lose yourself in the art. Lose yourself with wetter morphs. Shout out to the sponsors, man. Y'all make sure y'all go out and show them some love, man. We appreciate everything y'all do for us, man. Definitely appreciate y'all's support. Let's see who we got in the comments tonight. First, the Pip. We got the sis, Krista from Neurofy. Zydix, what's good? Appreciate you coming out. We got the Sultan of Support, Bosa, in the building. What's good, homie? Appreciate you coming out. Eric's More Factory in the building. What's good? We got the homie John in the building. What's good? Appreciate you coming out. What's up, my bro, Jaffe? What's good, man? Appreciate you coming out. Big Keys in the building. What's good, homie? Appreciate you coming out. R.O., what's up, fam? Appreciate you coming out. Man, the comments going crazy tonight. I know I'm going to miss some people, but, man, definitely, man, we definitely appreciate y'all coming out. Man, Freddie, More Valley Reptiles in the building. What's good, homie? Musical Pythons in the building. What's good, fam? Jamil, what's good? V-Unit, what's good, bro? Appreciate you coming out. Let's see who else we got. Big Fred from MTZ Pythons, what's good? JQ, what it do? Another V-Unit representative. Hey, we're going to stop it right there. We're going to kick the intro. Then we'll be right back with the guests.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lady, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up. This cool. Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this?
Episode 130, State Property, Volume 2. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up?
Good,
What's up,
good,
everybody?
good.
Jeannie's stomach's still hurting.
Say again?
I said Jeannie's stomach's still hurting.
Oh, man.
The
That's oh, you talking about from the laughing, man. That was crazy, bro.
It made me laugh too. I was laughing.
Bro, I was dying, bro.
What's up, guys?
I don't know if I ever laughed so hard on the show, man. That was nuts, man. Yeah, man. So how's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah,
Going good, man. This humidity sucks, though, but, you know, it's part of being in Florida.
I'm in
Yeah.
the thick of it right now. Every day working outside a little while, man. You get a little sun, come in red, bro. A little suntan. Even under the roof, you know, the sun gets you a little bit somehow.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fucking
Yeah,
hot.
this Florida heat is crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy on the West Coast too, man. I got a snake that I've been holding for like 3 weeks that I just can't ship because the weather's so crazy. It's like 99 to 102, 103. So I just can't ship it right now. It's crazy weather. How did y'all fare during the storm?
We were good, man. A couple of streets around us got a little flooded, but you know, we're also in St. Pete, where this is like the worst flood zone A, I believe it's called. I think we're 9 feet above sea level. When you go inland more, God, I think Steve is like 100 and something feet. He's in Brooksville, above sea level. That just gives you an idea how low we are, you know. So,
Oh wow.
but yeah, just some floods on the streets, nothing by our house or nothing like that. So we're good. It's a little windy and stuff, but how about you guys?
Little rain.
Yeah, for me it was a little windy on Saturday and a little rain. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just wind and rain for us too. We did have a sinkhole not too far from us open up. It was pretty big, and so they had to close the road. But I mean, aside from that, it wasn't nothing major.
You're not too far from like Jenny Springs, right?
Not far, nah.
Yeah, that's where all the caves are underneath the grounds, and that's where a lot of the sinkholes are, aren't they? Or that's where
Yeah.
there could be a lot of them because of the caves.
Yeah, it happened a lot in this area, obviously, because like the swampland and stuff like that. But yeah,
Where was it
road
that-
just opened up.
Like I think it was 2 years ago, the guy that got swallowed up in his house in the sinkhole. Where
I
was
heard
that?
about that. I think that was that in Tampa area?
I don't know. I know it was in Florida. I thought it was over closer to where you're at, but I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly where it was, but me and somebody was talking about that the other day. Yeah, they never found Buddy.
Talk about
No.
winning the lottery, huh? Dang.
Yeah, that's
middle of the night, man. The floor just opens up and it sucked him right down, like 30 feet down, and they couldn't get him out. Too much debris and too dangerous, you know. So yeah,
that's nuts.
that's a hell of a awakening, you know. We went back to sleep pretty quick, I guess, but it's crazy shit.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit, bro. Like that's nuts. I couldn't imagine. That's like straight out of a scary movie.
Yeah.
So how the season going for y'all?
Busy. It's definitely busy. My season's normally pretty early, and I've got, I think right now, like 24 clutches out and a couple of shedding right now. So I know I'm feeding 22 clutches right now. So about halfway. About halfway done. Not quite halfway, but going good. Yeah.
Yeah, I just pulled 30 clutch 30 today, and another one's laying eggs now. So that'll be 31. I got maybe 10 more left, but yeah, it's been pretty busy over here too.
Yeah, I pulled clutch 54 today, and I'm expecting 78 this year, so they're coming fast.
Is that your biggest year, or you've done bigger before?
That's my biggest. My biggest before this was, I would say 60.
60, yeah.
Yeah.
And my
I had
biggest
I had a down year last year. I hit 50 for the first time. I went backwards a little bit, and yeah, I went hard, bro. So.
Yeah, 42 was my largest, and I'll be pretty close to that this time too.
Not only that, I fed out of my mind, and some of these girls are mature and they skipped last year, so I'm at a 7 egg average right now, which is pretty damn good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I keep track of all that stuff too. I don't know if you guys do, but I keep track. When I hit clutch 40 laid, I do like every 10 clutches, I'll do a little statistical analysis.
Yeah.
Like see where my egg, average is, and any slugs or infertiles, and yeah, at about 7.3 average clutch size. So yeah,
Last year,
same size.
Did you keep up with the male-female ratio?
What's that?
Do you keep up with the male-female ratio?
Yeah, probably about 1 to 4. Somewhere in there. I mean, you always need a few good backups. That's my thought process. And one male might only be for 1 or 2 females sometimes. So you definitely need to have. I think about a 1 to 4 for me is pretty much where I run. maybe a little bit more.
In terms of like what you hatching out, do your male female ratio?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you mean like male breeders to female breeders. I totally misunderstood that.
Oh no, you good?
Yeah. I don't. I average sex odds. Average sex odds. Yeah. I don't find anything incredible.
I haven't really paid attention to that fully, but I would say it's 50-50. I don't know if Corey agrees with that. Jeremy, what do you think?
I think it's that too. I mean, it's sometimes I'll get like, mostly males in a clutch, and then the very next one would be mostly females. Yeah. But I keep track of everything. I got records of everything, but I don't like every few months or anything like that. I don't like see what it averages out. I mean, I could check it if I wanted to, but I just don't do any of that. But I would say male and female is average just by going off of
clutches of full females and full males are fucking rare, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll usually get like one male and a bunch of females, or vice versa, or mixed or whatever. I think the only time I got nothing but females was a Partho. That happened one time for me. So
yeah, all time I'm sitting at 52% males, 48% females.
Okay, so you're tracking it. You're right there.
Yeah, right there.
I'm glad you kind of verified what we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, you could have another clutch and change that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It definitely fluctuates throughout the year.
Yeah. Cool. And there's people that believe that they can change the temperatures for males and females. I don't think so. People tried proving that out for years, from what I've heard. And nothing has become of that. It's good for tortoises or for turtles and stuff, but you can tell me whatever you want. I don't think that change in temperatures is going to bring more females or males in the snakes.
I'm superstitious. I'll put something that I want heavy females at the bottom just in case. Never hurt me.
Hey, you got to put a pink bread on your egg box, man. If you want males,
it's never hurt me.
If you want males, you got to put a condom on the box.
What? A scaleless shed? What?
Yeah, you might as well, man. You got nothing to lose. It ain't gonna hurt you. So what about
How about you, Mike? How's your season? How's your deal going, man?
Man, I got a really a slow season. I'm starting to get girls go through prelay right now, but I'm gonna have a relatively small season. It looked like compared to like last year. I still ain't had like no huge season, but just like comparing year over year, it'll probably be a little bit smaller than last year. Probably largely driven by the fact that I moved my collection this past year, like back in October. And so a lot of my early girls didn't really do nothing. My later girls, they kind of like hit or miss, but I'm starting to get like some traction right now. So I'll probably do like maybe just under 20. Last year I did 21, 22, something like that. So I'll probably be in like that 17, 18 range. But I think if I wouldn't have moved my collection, I'd probably be like closer to like 30.
Gotcha. Yeah. I heard moving. That last storm, not the last one that just hit, but the one that, what was it, last year, that was supposed to be a direct hit to us. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. I had everything bagged and everything ready to go down south, and I've had several people tell me that my next year's season after that, it's going to suck because moving all the females, and I was a little worried. Thank God I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to evacuate, but I heard if you move them, then that can mess your season up a little bit, so.
Yeah. I'd kind of just really said, fuck it, I got to do it. Because at one point I thought about like doing like kind of like a hybrid situation. But when I thought about that more, I was like, man, that's a crazy idea. It's just going to be a whole bunch of work, a whole bunch of stress. So I'm going to just bite the bullet this year, get them settled in, and then we're good to go.
Did you move like to a different house or something?
Yeah, like I put them in a different facility.
Okay, gotcha.
So you ready for the show, Corey?
I'm ready. I did Schaumburg last month, so I had some displays filled for that, and I'll probably, obviously didn't sell everything, so some of the same stuff will be coming, and I've got new stuff coming in. So yeah, I got 2 tables. They'll be full. Just got to finalize labeling some stuff up, midweek next week, and label some displays and get packed up. I mean, the Ocean Center is only 5 minutes from my house, so it's really simple for me to do some last minute stuff, and I pack my animals in the displays Thursday night usually and bring them on over to the Ocean Center Friday. So yeah, it's a pretty simple process here, and This is my 10th year of vending Daytona. So my first year was 2014. So this is like 10th anniversary. So it's pretty good accomplishment. I think achievement vending 10 years straight. So that's my favorite show. It seems to be my best show out of all the shows every year. It seems to be my best show.
Nice. How many animals you bring in?
Yeah. I don't know. Probably like 120-ish. I don't know. I haven't done final count yet. I got to do my paperwork, and I won't have that ready until Wednesday or Thursday for to turn into Wayne. But around that ballpark, usually to fill 7 or 8 displays, usually around 120. Yeah.
That makes sense. How about you, Jeremy?
2 tables. We're bringing ball pythons, probably about 70-ish, give or take. But a lot of the stuff, like this last 2 or 3 weeks, is like when a lot of my stuff's just been hatching, so it's not even going to be ready for Daytona. At least a lot of really good stuff, it's not going to be ready for Daytona. But we are bringing. I had my very first litter of boas this year, so I'll have some boas with us too, and then we just hatched out, ended up being 44 pied pectinatas, which are the Mexican spiny tail iguanas. So we'll probably bring like 10, 15 of those with us too. So a little assortment of things there. And Jeannie might bring a couple of her geckos. She pretty much sold out. I think she's only got like 4 or 5 left of those. So.
Oh, nice. What boas did you have a litter from?
All right, so I paired 2 girls up, but only one went. So she was a jungle blood, and then it was a ghost IMG. So there's ghost IMG and hypos in the mix, and then everything's going to be double het, anery type 1, and blood. So, and I'm bringing. Let's see, I sold 1 already, so there was 12. I think I'm bringing like 8 of them.
Nice. Are you you plan on getting into bulls heavy, or are you just gonna do it as like a little side project?
Yeah, like a little side project. I have a whole separate room that's separated from this whole house here with them in there, but I probably will never get any more than like maybe 10 breeders at the most. So just a little side, something different. Something. I mean, we do a lot of different species, and that's the only thing that does live birth. And that was really different for us, kind of exciting and new, so.
Was this your first year trying, or just your first year hitting?
Yeah, first year trying. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep. I tried for 2, and then I think I pulled the male out of the first of one of the other one too soon. It's a lot different than breeding ball pythons. You leave the male in for like months at a time. You don't just leave them in for a few days. Then you got to wait till they ovulate and shed before removing the male, so at least that's what my mentor's been kind of teaching me on that. So, and I just removed the male on the other one, which is nice because he also says for the boas, especially the younger ones, breed them every 2 years and not every year. So I'll have at least 1 pairing for next year too. So, because I only have 2 breeders females right now.
Who's mentoring
you? Richard Albano.
Okay.
Da Vinci Boa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where all my animals came from, and everything I got came from him, and he's been kind of showing me the ropes and everything on that.
Nice. So, what's your plans for Daytona, Emilio? I know you're not vending, but you got anything on the docket? You planning?
Yeah, he's going to go there and spend a bunch of money.
We're just gonna party, bro. I'm gonna pick up another Drymarchon. I'm gonna get a yellowtail Crebo female. I'm trying to diversify a bit, and now I got some Angolans, some hogs, some Drymarchons. I got MBKs. Trying to just become a more complete reptile keeper overall, So
that's the way to do it. That's how you get tables at these certain shows, man.
Well, no, aside from that, bro, I just want to take it to another level. Like I mastered ball pythons, so it's always gonna be my shit. But
yeah,
I'm gonna try to take it to another level, bro. The indigos and the Crebos are gonna give me that fix for what got me into reptiles, period, which was cobras. But I can't have venomous, and I won't have venomous. I won't take that risk. So I'm gonna have something. I'm gonna have something that's close to it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other species that you don't have that's catching your eye? You thinking about jumping into?
I think that's it. I think that's about it. Yeah. So it gives me that
All
big.
snakes?
It gives me that big snake, that I want. What were you saying, Jeremy?
I said all snakes. That's no lizards or anything else.
No, Lisette has some cresteds, bro, but they're cool. But I don't know. I've never been into lizards, bro.
Yeah.
Cresteds
That's
are cool.
Jeannie. Jeannie does the lizards. We do the rhino iguanas and the pectinatas, but that stuff's outside.
Yeah. I'm a snake guy 100%, bro. The cresteds are cool. I mess with them here and there, but it's just not for me.
Yeah. I like the big lizards myself. So
yeah, that's how I am too. I like the lizards and whatnot, but I'm more of a snake guy. But I definitely like the lizards. I appreciate them.
I like green tree monitors and stuff like that. But it's just, do I like it enough to get into it? Do I like it enough to spend, $6,000 to $10,000 on something that I don't know if it's gonna be a passion of mine? So
yeah,
it's one of those things.
You gotta like doing it to make it work.
Yeah, if I get in, I need to know that I'm staying with it. So
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody mentioned monitors in the comments. If I were to get a lizard, a lizard that I was responsible for, it'd be an monitor, something like that.
Yeah, we got those too. We got a 1.2 of those. We bred them 2 years ago, and only 3 survived. And then last year, the girl, I don't know, maybe we didn't have the egg box or the egg lay box humidity up high enough or something. She ended up laying like 11 eggs, I think it was, that we counted, but she laid them all like underneath the heat lamp, and we both went to work and we didn't notice them. She must have did it earlier that day. When we got home, they're all dried up. So we tried pairing them this year, no luck. So see what happens next year. But those are neat too, the Ackie monitors.
Yeah. Y'all got red or yellow?
We got red. Yeah.
Those sell
tortoises. Well. They do sell well, yeah. Because for one, their monitors are different than geckos and some other stuff, and they're so small that there's a lot more people that are able to keep them, versus like some of the bigger monitors where you need like very big caging and housing and stuff. So,
hey, for the viewers out there, there's one that's a little bit more docile than the other. The red or the yellow? Which one is it, Jeremy?
I've never had a yellow, so I don't know. I've heard that. I think somebody was telling me the yellows get a little bigger than the reds too, but honestly, I don't know which ones are more docile. I think if you work with them, anything you work with is going to be fine, unless it's a cobra.
So temperament wise, when y'all first got y'all, like, how were they? Like, did y'all have to kind of like break them in or whatever? Or
they're flighty at first, but if you start handling them more, then they'll, there's that trust. Just like anything, if you handle them more often, then, they trust you more, and then, you can walk around with them on your shoulder and stuff like that. We don't handle them that much, but when we do handle them, we can grab them and hold them. And when we have them for a little bit, they settle down. One of the biggest things, we sell rhino iguanas, and those things are really flighty. And I tell people all the time, because I'll sell them and I'll tell them, I say, until you have them inside of an enclosure where you can walk into their environment, they're going to be flighty. You just got to wait till they get to that size. You can sit there and try to feed them, and a lot of people say you got to work with them and feed them, hand feed them and stuff like that. That probably does help in some occasions, but my experience and what others have told me, that as soon as you are able to walk into an enclosure where you're going into their environment, give it like a week or two and they settle down, they'll walk right up to you and stuff like that. In other words, if you're reaching into their cage or something and it's smaller where you can't fit inside, they just see a hand coming in and grabbing them and they start, freaking out and stuff. So
yeah, from their perspective, that's got to be scary as hell. Like, they see a big ass hand coming. So yeah. How about you, Corey? You keep any other species outside of ball pythons?
I don't right now, but I have been, really, I've had the inclination and desire to get some tree monitors. I like the yellow tree monitors, blue tree monitors. Those would probably be the first 2 things that I would add you know. But it's just it's a space thing, you know, for caging. You know, I don't know that I'd have them out in the same area that I have everything now, because I'm in a 15 by 30. That's my space that I've allocated in the shop. So I could make it bigger, and have the tree monitors with the caging that they need. But I would probably just get a pair and, you know, maybe have them in the corner of my office here and start out that way, you know, or maybe put them in a different area of the house where they'd see more activity and socialization. In the office, they probably wouldn't get a lot, so it'd probably be a bad move. But yeah, it's something that I've considered. It's just a caging size, you know, requirement for them. I'd like to have at least, you know, 4 by 4 by 2, you know, for a single. So if you get a pair, I mean, that's, you know, that's 8 foot high and, you know, 4 foot wide section that you need to dedicate to that. And I wouldn't just be at 2. I know once I started, I would all of a sudden have 10. So just multiply that space times, you know, 5. So 8 by 4, you know, that's 40 feet of 20 some feet of area, you know, lengthwise. Right. So I'd kind of need a different space to do that. But I know there's a few people that do it, and George Ende, and he's down here. He's got a good handful of tree monitors, and I'm totally envious of that, because I've seen pictures and I've talked to him online a few times and stopped by his tables at shows and you know, spoken to him about them. And I just you know, a few people that I know have them. I'm kind of a little envious of that. But one day, when the time's right, it'll happen.
Can you keep them outside, being in Florida, or?
I don't know. Like I think Crutchfield's got some of his outside, right? Like his caging's outside, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah, I think he keeps everything outside.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
He keeps rhinos loose in the back too.
Very well outside.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the guy.
I've talked to George, I think, and he wants to have an area where it can be like they can be inside and outside, like, you know, like a mix of caging where they could come inside if they wanted or go outside, and that would be really neat. But you know, I need, for me, really, to do something like that, like an inside-outside type enclosure. I need to be in a different area. You know, I'm in a residential.
Talk to Joe Kenny has Black Dragons that he has where it's inside and outside.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the guy near me. This has got like a lot of land, and he keep I think 1 or 2 Asian water monitors like outside, and then when it get cold, in the rare occasion that it get like too cold for them to be outside, like you bring them into like a house with a heater and stuff like that. But yeah, he keeps it outside probably 90-95% of the time.
Yeah,
that's us too with the rhinos and the pecks. Keep them outside. They got hides with heat, but if it gets too cold, then we bring them in, put them in tubs and bring them inside. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's one advantage of being in Florida.
Yeah. I need to move though, man. I stress out every time there's like, you know, because we're in a bad flood zone. I plan on moving like within 3 or 4 years, just moving inland more, you know, maybe like towards Brooksville or something like that, where it's not flood zones.
Yeah, I'm in a flood zone as well. You know, got the emergency plan.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. My home is new for the most part, so it's elevated, but it's still a big worry.
Yeah. What's your elevation, your land elevation? Do you know?
Bro, I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, we're in a flood zone, and we are evacuated when it's that time.
Yep.
So talk about that. You mentioned the emergency plan. Like, what's all in your plan and whatnot?
Honestly, I'd have to bag up all, depending on how bad the storm is. I'd have to bag up all the animals and put them on the second floor.
Yeah.
Now, when we had that one where we were going to evacuate, I actually had everything bagged and tubbed and everything, and I was going to take it down to Joe Kenny's place because he's down south more. And at the last minute, the storm ended up turning and going towards where he was. So we got lucky in that aspect. But I think the next time our main house is on the second floor, I think I'll just, like what Emilio does, just take it up to the second story. You know,
yeah, we are. I mean, we're built up to code down here in Miami. After Andrew, they put in some stringent hurricane code. Got the shutters, got it all. We're ready, man. Yep. It's part of life down here. It's part of life where Jeremy is. you know, Corey as well.
Yeah, I'm two blocks from the ocean. So
Yeah, I'm 3 minutes. I'm like 3 minutes from Black Point Marina, so it's real. I would love to live where, you know, inland, like Jeremy's saying, but I love where I live as well. So
yeah, that's the tough thing for me is I'm beachside and I love where I am. You know, I've got a nice big garage. I've got a 6-car garage. So I've only dedicated a small portion of that, you know, to my shop, you know, with the animals. So I could turn that into 1,800 square feet instead of 400 square feet, 450 square feet. But I just don't. I do it mostly, you know, myself. My son helps me occasionally. I have a friend that helps me occasionally in times of, you know, heavy peak loads of animals and stuff and cleaning. So, besides that, you know, I'm only mostly doing stuff myself. So I've packed up and evacuated once, you know, when we had a bad one. I packed up and I did leave. I was like, well, if I'm going to go somewhere, I'm just packing everything up. And, you know, it was 2 vehicles, my parents' vehicle and, you know, and my vehicle. We both had trucks. So it wasn't that tough. You know, and I didn't notice any bad season after that. But you know, it's cumbersome for sure to have to do that. And so now I'm to the point where I've got a 24-foot trailer that I'm ready to hook the truck up to. I got a generator, a portable one, and I've got AC and heat in that thing in case I need to just move down the road.
Yeah, that's the way to do it right there.
Yeah, and it comes in handy, you know. So that's just sitting in the driveway. I mean, just ready for an emergency, you know. I mean, if I have to bag up and get out of here, that's the plan.
How far do you have to take them?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I just went, 6-car garage. I went, since we were going to leave, we went up to Tennessee because I forget what year it was. It was 17 or 18 was the year that I evacuated here. I forget what was going on, what storm that was, to be honest with you. But my kids live in Tennessee, so that's where I headed up to, and I hung out there for 4 or 5 days, and I got the all clear. Everything was good, and came back. You know, it was a nightmare of a story. It was October or something, and you know, we pull into a hotel, and I'm unpacking everything and bringing animals and totes and everything, and I got the hatchlings in display cases, and I go to turn the heat on in the room because it was cold in Tennessee. And the heater, like, it hadn't been run. It's setting the smoke detector off and everything. So I'm like, oh, I can't not have this go on. Because I literally have totes like 6 foot high, you know, of all the animals. And I'm like, I can't have hotel staff coming over here and seeing what's going on. My daughter brought me a space heater because the heat in the hotels kept setting the smoke alarm off. You know, my daughter brought me over a space heater, and I put that right next to all the tubs full of animals, and you know, just worked for the weekend or for 4 days or whatever it was. But yeah,
man's kicking a 6-car garage and he goes to a dive hotel.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have anything out there then, and it was like, you know, that's why I got the trailer, because now it's like I couldn't fit that stuff in 2 vehicles. You know, I need a 24-foot trailer. You know,
guys out there. That said, okay, being in Florida, being where we are, for me at least, knock on wood, I haven't had a bad storm in 5 years. Yeah. So
I'm afraid to even say that, man.
I wrote it out in 19, you know, when that Dorian was like right up the coast, like 20 miles off the coast the whole way. And I'm like, I've left before. I'm just not doing it again. You know, I'll put everything in bags, and I'm like, it's got to be, but I hate to say it, but it's got to be like a Cat 5, and it's supposed to land in Daytona before I'm going to pack up and leave.
Yeah,
I'll pack up. I have the rhino. You know, I got those 3 adult rhino iguanas. You know, and adult pectinatas, and like 5 redfoot tortoises. So when I had to pack up, not only just all the snakes, I had to do all that stuff too, man. Yeah, I don't want to have to do that again. I
feel pretty comfortable with the structure that I'm in. It would just be a flooding issue for me, I think. You know, my place is all concrete block, you know, and besides the roof. So, and I just had the roof the roof in the garage done in 19, and I did the house in 2020. So I feel pretty safe with the structure. It would just be a matter of, if we got a lot of water and, some storm surge, that would be my concern, would be flooding. So
That's what I worry about, is the storm surges.
Yeah, just to raise
part.
stuff. Yeah, for sure. You've seen what's happened to the West Coast, unfortunately. The last few years, it's been really bad. The storm surges over there.
Yeah, Fort Myers.
I think I read somewhere that it's supposed to be a pretty active season this year. So
yeah, they say that. They say that. I don't know. Every winter, I hope, this is me from a standpoint of weather. I want to see a couple cold weeks in the winter, personally, to keep the Atlantic a little bit cooler. That's what I'd like to see down here. And I didn't really see that this year. So I didn't see it last year either. And I got a little bit nervous. So, when the Atlantic doesn't cool off very much, it has the potential to be, a fairly prevalent season for hurricanes.
Yep.
So
Warm waters, man. That's what brings it.
We'll see what happens. You can just cross your fingers and hope for the best. And, I put in a Generac, so it's not like, I'm going to be without power unless I can't get fuel for the propane for the generator. But it'll run for 4 or 5 days, and keep everything powered. I don't have to shut anything off. So it's handy. It's probably
all right. So on a different note, what kind of stuff is everybody bringing what kind of stuff are you bringing to Daytona?
Yeah, that's a good question. That was actually one of my next questions.
The storm talk is getting a little depressing.
Yeah. I like to talk about it and get it out of the way. Just you can't ignore it. You have to talk about it.
I know, but it is.
It's one of my biggest fears, of being where I'm at. I'll be honest with you.
It is.
But,
yeah.
I'm bringing a variety of stuff to the show, man. I've just, I always try to make some cool clown stuff. I'm always still experimenting with that project. I know everybody says, "Oh, clowns, that's just so overworked," and but I seem to hit something every year or some combination. It's like, well, I haven't seen that before. I haven't seen anything like that. And, I've always worked clowns. I've worked Freeway Project. I've worked Clown Pied stuff. So kind of just expanding onto those, getting a little bit more into Axanthic stuff and things like that, where you can have a little bit more variety, because people do want to see some diversity. Even if you just have ball pythons, they want to see a little bit of diversity on your table. And somebody might come, looking for a particular thing. They know, oh, Corey, he's got a lot of clowns over there. He's got some freeway stuff. Well, you might come over, and you might see some Axanthic stuff that you like, or whatever. Something you didn't expect to see. And I don't know. It's just, I just try to keep a decent variety of stuff. There are some projects that I like within clown more than others, and I try to work those a little bit more. So I like Cypress, I like Wookiee, I like the Confusion stuff. So I try to work that, a few angles that way, and just keep on top of some new combos. It's something that I haven't seen before. If I haven't seen it, I'll try it. I'm not afraid to experiment. I think that's what you have to do.
Yeah, that's what keeps it
100%.
exciting.
Yeah, you have to experiment, So
You bringing some shrapnel stuff?
Yeah, they just shed out yesterday. The newest clutch that I had, where I hit a super shrapnel. So that's what I've been waiting to hit. And so I'll bring it. I'm not going to sell any of that stuff right now. I've got some stuff from last year that I might let go of still. But anything from this year that I hatched, I probably won't let go of that. I hit like the 2 supers in the clutch. So I'm going to hang on to that stuff, obviously, but I'll have some stuff available. I like that project. It's one that I touch on. I've had it since 2015 or 16, and it took me till 22 to hit a visual shrapnel clown. So I started with that stuff way back then. Got some stuff from Chad Halker, and just kept working that. And nobody's really liked it, but I put some pictures up, and people are like, "Oh, that's pretty neat," So I don't know.
Is that compared to another gene too? That I heard
it's been around. Chad found that back in like 2009 and 2010. He bought an animal from Jared Carr, and he started hatching some really weird stuff from it. And he got back with Jared, and Jared's like, "Yeah, whatever you're seeing there, name it what you want. Chad named it Shrapnel. I ended up getting some stuff from him. I got a male from him. I worked that into my collection. I made a few things with it. I held those back. I held some females back. And back then, we're talking 2014, 15, 16, like really popular stuff back then was lesser and pastel and stuff like that. So all these animals that I started with had lesser and pastel in them.
Yeah.
And it's taken me a while to work that stuff out. Not that all of it looks bad. I've made some pastel stuff with Shrapnel that looks really good. But just the market favorability, especially in clowns, is not with lesser and pastel. It just isn't. In some combinations it looks cool, but it's taken me years to work that out. So it's a little pet project that I have on the side. I enjoy working it. I don't really care if anybody else likes it or not. At the end of the day, it's about working stuff that you are not going to be upset with if you have to hold on to it.
Facts.
I think I saw a Colton
Sometimes-
with that a few years, like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah,
He had
Colton
some-
bought some stuff from Chad, and I think he had some stock there. Yeah.
You can't just follow the market. That's boring.
Yeah, it's boring. I'll mix some other, like I have a breeder male, obviously. I made supers this year, so obviously I'll try to work some stuff into that. And then when I have the super, ready to breed that I hatched this year, I'll just work that into some other projects and see what I can do.
If you feel like a project doesn't have market favorability, you could try to change that. And
yeah. You could
we
try to
we should all be doing that.
Yeah. You can't wait for somebody else to make something popular, just because they give it the hominy-dominy and say, oh, this is what's the latest and greatest right now. Work what you like and what you want to do. Somebody else doesn't have to give it its approval for it to be desired somewhere. You have to, I have to do more marketing on my own, obviously, if I'm working a project, but I'm not the best at that. I like to let the animals show themselves at shows and, make an Instagram post or Facebook post once in a while. And, hopefully I just let them speak for themselves. I've had dozens of people come up to the table and take pictures and, they think they're cool. And I wasn't really selling anything, but I've sold two of them. That's it. And just heads. So there's 2 other people that I sold to. And so I don't mind sitting on stuff at the end of the day. I don't have any other. I've got one male maybe for sale, and I'd actually probably just take that off because I could use a normal male Shrapnel clown for some other projects.
Okay, when you said heads, you were saying it was shrapnel. So
Shrapnel head clowns. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. So I just made females, and I knew there was a super. The super's already been proven outside of clowns.
Right.
So it's its own distinct thing. So, I just knew that females were going to be valuable in that project to make supers. So I held most of the females that I've ever made.
Got you.
I haven't sold any females.
Oh, word. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, Emilio, you got shots at hitting the VPI DG Clown this year?
No. Next year I'm gonna be producing my building blocks for all that. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
So
this year I just I'm doing foundational stuff with Monsoon, with Sunset, my usual stuff. So I'm gonna be replacing some of the collection here and there. So it's a year of revamping kind of, and just taking it to another level.
I did a lot of that revamping last year.
So I'm really excited about a clutch I got today. I got a clutch Sunset head pied to Axanthic head pied. Haven't seen that done. Got 11 eggs there, and I hatched. Last week I hatched clutch from Sunset head pied to Lav head pied. That was pretty good. Got a bunch of females. Got some homozygous double heads. Feeling really good about that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Jeremy? I forgot what the hell I was going to say.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I about to say? Oh, yeah. So, is there anything you're trying to push heavy at Daytona, like in terms of like new animals, something you ain't shown yet, or anything like that?
Man, it's like a lot of the good stuff just recently hatched out. Like I said earlier, Tinley will be like where I bring a lot of that. I mean, I'll have some like clown. I just hatched out a clutch of there's 5 of them that they're the visual clown comboed with lace, and they're all 100% het DGs. That I'll probably bring some paint stuff. But yeah, some of the better stuff is just not ready to go to the show yet. You know, they haven't had their meals and all that yet. So
You got some
Need
visual.
to stop
Got some
by
visual.
and go ahead, Jeremy. I'm sorry.
no, I go ahead, Mike. What were you saying?
No, so you got some visual paint stuff.
Yeah, I'll have some visuals there. There'll be 66 head hypo. You guys seen hit the hypo paint, right?
I think I did see that.
Yeah.
I was
You should holler at Matt.
What's that?
I said you should holler at Matt from Ebony and Ivory Reptiles.
Yeah, I heard he's working that project too.
Yeah.
Yo,
They got-
so I got a question for y'all because we're all kind of old school on here, except Mike, maybe, right? You see everybody calling Axanthic, at least the VPI line. Everyone's taking the name out and calling them VPI. Man, should I start doing that shit? I mean, bro, I'm like, shit. They're calling them VPI now. They're taking the Axanthic name out. I'm like,
Well, there's an advantage to that. If you're saying you're working with Axanthic, then that just leads to another question: what line do you have? If you bust out with VPI, you take that question away.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
I mean, just out of the top of my head, that's how I see it. Like I
guess.
say VPI.
Yeah, I guess we got to go with the changes, huh?
Yeah. Or yeah. You seem upset about that.
I don't
Call
know.
it what you want.
Need to evolve. Hey,
is there
Corey, what line are you working with?
is there another line besides VPI?
Yeah, no,
I'm not familiar with any. I'm not familiar with any.
I guess that,
I lost track of how many. What are they, 5 or 6 now?
I guess that answered the question. Yo, so
Yeah.
Corey,
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
me ask you this: what do you think about Black Axanthic and TSK being the same?
I think it's interesting because several examples that I've seen are drastically different, right? I mean, the Black Axanthic is obviously darker than some TSK stuff, but I find it interesting. It just maybe goes to show that, some people line bred different qualities of animals. Okay, not to say one's better or one's worse, just line bred different quality of animals and ended up, with a darker line that's the same as TSK. That's what some of it is a brighter line. Like I would say John Degg, he works TSK and his stuff is pretty bright, right? But I know a lot of people that have Black Axanthic stuff and that's pretty dark. So that's interesting, in itself right there. It just goes to show, like, if I'll just say I work some hurricane stuff, and I don't know how many of you follow Hans there that works the hurricane stuff, but I'll know the hurricane trick blitz. But if you look at some of his super hurricane stuff, I would say that he's taken his hurricane project like to the next level, and his super hurricanes look significantly nicer than other people's super hurricanes or super tricks or super blitzes. So I think it goes to show that if you work with quality, keeping your best stuff and pushing that forward, I just consistently think that you're going to do better in that project by working your best stock, right? And I think he did that, and I think people did that with like Black Axanthic, and people did that with TSK, and so on, other projects as well. You have to keep the best stuff and work with the best quality to maintain the best examples and put the best piece of that project forward.
Yeah, that's what I've done with mine, I could say.
Yeah.
Mike, I have a question for you now.
All right.
Not to take over the show, but what do you think about GCR and MJ? They're saying that, have they finally come out and said that they're the same?
I don't know if they said they were the same or not. I don't. It's so many Axanthic lines. It's hard for me. You excited?
Crazy.
How'd you do that?
How'd you do that?
I don't know.
All right.
That's right. You were super excited about what I was about. But yeah, it's so many like Axanthic lines. It's hard for me to like really keep track of like which is which. I don't work with Axanthic that much. Like I got some stuff in my collection, but it's all VPI. But I did hear it was like either like 2 that they figured out was the same, or like maybe 2 sets that they figured out were the same. But for me, it wasn't really like no big thing because I wasn't following the project too tough anyway.
Yeah, that's the way I am. I don't have a whole bunch of Axanthic stuff, so I don't really follow into all that. Hyperspace said they were compatible.
Before we leave this topic, I'll say this: the MJ pies are the best pies I've seen. Now, though, much like Corey has been saying, a lot of that is line bred. Once we start seeing more animals, right, then we have to let's see if it, improves with the test of time. You know what I mean?
It's a very small sample size of those, right?
Yeah.
I was talking about this in a Discord chat the other day, and we got on Morph Market, and there were 8 or 9 MJ Axanthic animals on there versus 500 VPI. Okay, so once that MJ line is distributed among, where you have a similar number of animals out there, I would expect that there's the potential. I can't say I expect anything. There's the potential for that line to also be a little bit diluted, right? Working at people not so much line breeding it like, Marcus did, so there always exists the potential for that. We're looking at a very small sample size from originating from one person, whereas now VPI is very well spread out among the industry, and people are mixing it with this to make hets and, to make visuals down the road and to make double hets. So I think once you dilute, maybe an MJ line, there's a possibility that it may not look as good as it currently does, but we won't know until that happens. It'll be several years.
So was there something that caused
100%, Corey?
Was there something that caused VPI to get spread out more so than MJ? Like, I don't know the history on that.
I don't know. Maybe because he's in Canada. I don't know.
I thought it was just because it was been out so much longer, and like what Corey was just saying, that you got everybody that's and you get somebody that
in the beginning it was Joliffe, VPI, and TSK. I mean, I think the snake Corey, Colleen, and Dan, I don't think they really pushed that project that much. Dave and Tracy pushed it more, I think. So, and it just took over. It was the widely worked line of Axanthic. At first, nobody even liked Axanthic, bro. All they would say is that they brown out and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, but before we leave the MJ thing, I can't wait to see an MJ clown that hasn't been made yet, correct?
I don't know. Not that I've seen. I don't know.
It's probably been made, just not shown, but
possibly.
Yeah, I can't recall one that I've seen.
Yeah, that's going to be the test as well.
Hey, guys, we need to take a real quick sponsor break. We'll be right back.
Known for his innovative approach to genetic shed testing and top-quality ball pythons, Grey Rider Reptiles also excels in exceptional customer service and responsiveness. With a quick turnaround time, Charlie ensures you get the service you want and need. Visit shedtesting.com to explore his offerings and experience the best in the business. Don't miss out. Head to shedtesting.com today and unlock the power of your breeding projects.
Peace and love, family. We invite you into the heart of our serenity, Ancestral Royal Pythons. At Ancestral Royal Pythons, we're not just breeders, we're nurturers of love and growth. Each of our high-end ball pythons is a tribute to the grandeur of the natural world and our dedication to quality. Reach out today and bring one of our creations into your home. This is Ancestral Royal Pythons. Your journey begins here.
Here's to the exciting world of Ebony and Ivory reptiles. From unforgettable parties and events to keeping and hatching some of the dopest reptiles in the reptile hobby, we're all about education, quality, integrity, and respect. Hit us up and see how we can help make your next project a reality. Experience Ebony and Ivory reptiles, where fascination meets fun.
Ebony and Ivory reptiles.
Shout out to the sponsors, man. Appreciate y'all, fellas. Yeah, man. So in terms of like sales strategies at reptile shows, and it don't even just got to be Daytona, it could be any show. Like, what's y'all's kind of strategy? Emilio, we can start with you.
Well, for me, is a diverse table. I feel like to do well at a show with the amount of competition we have, you need to have plenty of animals. You know, your animals need to be well fed. They need to be bright. They need to be beautiful, great body composition. I feel like you have to have most price ranges represented. And you have to take care of the overall market, not just high-end market, not just investment market. I feel like, and now going forward, even diverse species is going to be very important, much like Jeremy, you know?
Yep, 100%. Agreed. Yep. That and you got to be able to talk to people and stuff too. I mean, you can have really, really nice animals and sit behind your table and stare at your phone sitting on a chair and, you know, nothing happens. You just got to be outgoing and, you know, be nice to people and don't be afraid to explain or, you know, answer questions sometimes, you know, so we always try to do that.
Yeah, you need to engage with people coming up and coming by your table. Definitely. I mean, the animals go without saying. You have to have, you know, quality stuff and priced competitively, priced appropriately. Maybe some different stuff than other people, you know, not all the same, but you need to engage with people that come by your table. You know, if you give them a warm greeting and ask them if they have any questions. Are you looking at anything in particular? You know, just be a welcoming person. You know, this hobby's about a community of people that, you know, share the same passion, and I think you need to show some of that energy to people that are coming by your table. You know, they took the time out and spent money to get into the door, and you know, they're getting a hotel probably if they're from out of town. You know, staying overnight, staying for the weekend, paying for a lot of things. You know, treat them like they're a guest in your house, because they really are. They're coming to your house and seeing what you have to offer. You know, just give them the best that you have to offer. You know, a nice, good smile, a handshake, talk to them, and I think that's just putting your best personality forward. And you know, the animals at the end of the day, a lot of the animals are going to speak for themselves, right? Do I want to buy from somebody that you know is, you know, I got to flag them down from their table, and you know, they're not wanting to engage or answer a question that I have about something. I'm not asking tough questions. I'm asking easy questions. You know, I've been around for a little bit, but you have to realize that some of these people, this might be the first thing that they're gonna bring home. You know, and those are the people that we need to support, because and give some encouragement and a warm welcome, because those are the kind of people that keep this going, right? Because
you want them to have a very good experience, you know.
Every year, yeah, somebody's going to fade away or drop out or retire. I mean, you know, so somebody's always going to be coming up, and the industry is getting bigger. And I just think you have to treat people like you want to be treated, and be a good person, and you know, just be friendly, you know, and answer their questions and just put on a, you know.
I've had. All right, go ahead.
Going forward with a tough economy and the people getting out, we have to try as an industry and take the bull by the horns and bring in. We need to recruit more people than are leaving.
Yeah, certainly.
That's going to be very important going forward, even with a tough economy that we're in right now, and you know, we probably haven't seen the worst of yet. So we need to work on this, and we need to take care of every single person and transaction.
And Amelia, I've been finding that in the last 2 shows, a lot of new people that are coming in that never even, a lot of them will be in there just a window shop, and asking questions. And I've actually sold a few new people that never had a snake before snakes in the last couple of shows. So, that's one of the things Corey was saying, have different elevations or different price ranges of stuff, have some of the lower stuff to get, because a lot of these new people, like when I first got in, I didn't want to go out and spend, $400 or $500 on a snake, unless the industry and how things work. It's kind of nerve-wracking,
Yeah.
But, I've sold throughout the years many people their very first snake, and they've come back and bought several others from me in that time. And I'm noticing a lot of that happening the last 2 shows that I did. A lot of these new guys buying their very first snake. So that's a good sign that you got these new people coming in, so.
That's what's kept us all alive since day one,
Yeah.
And you can't look down on them. If they have questions that they don't understand certain things, take a few extra minutes to explain or, point them in the right direction. Don't just shove them off and stuff like I see some people do,
Right, because like if somebody's asking like a bunch of easy questions, then it's obvious they're new, right? And so they're trying to learn. And so the last thing you want to do is like turn them away from the industry, because to Emilio's point, man, you want to bring in more people than what's leaving. Otherwise, the industry is shrinking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing a price. We're seeing price depreciation, right, or deflation, whatever you want to call it, with ball pythons. It looks like we're getting better, right? But the last, if we have less people and the market starts to shrink, we're in trouble. So everyone out there, bring more people in. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is it kind of, it's kind of bittersweet. You got really nice animals that are getting sold for a lot less nowadays. So a lot of these new people are coming in and they're getting something that they really enjoy looking at. So what they could, they couldn't afford that 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they're buying like a pastel or, just a single gene pied or something, So it's kind of bittersweet that the prices are a little bit low right now, but I think it helps bring a lot of these new people in seeing what they can do. And once they catch that bug,
Yeah, it's definitely a buyer's market, man. You can get some really nice things for a good price point, a lot different than it was when I first got in 2020, because I got in at like the height of like the prices being high and all that good stuff, 2020, 2021. So like right now, like I wish I could have bought some of the stuff that at the prices now, like back then. Like I feel like,
Well, Corey and Jeremy, let's get back to pre-COVID for a minute. We're back to just pre-COVID with just a bunch of more breeders. That's what's making it a little difficult now for people that don't have a brand out there.
Yeah.
What would you guys say to that?
I think you definitely need to get out there and network with people, and show your brand. Go to some of these shows. I think that's the best place to do it. This is the first, what I consider, and I think what most people consider, this is the kickoff show of the year coming up next week. Okay. I know we just had Schaumburg last month, but to me, Daytona has always been the kickoff show of the year. It's just some people, not all people, have a good handful of new, hatchlings on the ground, some new combinations, some new stuff that they want to show off. And it's a good chance to show it off to new people, network, you go out to dinner, you show up at the hotel afterwards, go to the auction, I just think to get yourself, out there, Well, I got a minute. I'm going to do a shameless plug. So my friends Leviathan, next Wednesday, August 14th, I want you guys to tune in at 7:00. My good friends Stephen and Courtney, they're having the first episode of the Red Line Road Trip, and that's going to be a Daytona episode.
Nice.
A shameless plug because I guess I'm in the first episode, so I'm really proud to be part of their friend group. great people. And if you want to learn about somebody, who's getting out there and branding themselves, it would be Stephen and Courtney. They're getting out there. They've been in this only a handful of years, and I don't know of any. If there's somebody out there in this group of people that haven't heard of them, they've been sleeping under a rock, because they're out there grinding away and working, and their content's really good. And I think that's the kind of thing, just nice, friendly people, engage with the community. And I think that's a good way to bring new people in, just have a good friend group, and, that works wonders for your brand and bringing people into the hobby.
Yeah, you can even get on, they can even get on like podcasts like this and just jump in the chats and stuff, and get to know people that as well.
Sure. That's a good way to start.
That's how I met a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so speaking of plugs, Jeremy, why don't you talk a little bit about the BMX bike?
This one right here?
Yes, sir. Put you on the ISO real quick.
Boom. All right, so every year or last couple of years, I always try to come up with something different. I did the guitar thing. That was 2 years ago, where I had a bunch of people sign it, Barchek and Graziani, and just a bunch of people signed it, and it went up for auction, did pretty decent, and then it was redonated again. I think last year brought in some money. The year 2 years prior to that, I did what they called the money box, where I just went to everybody's table and had them donate into this box. You couldn't get into it or anything unless you cut it open. And God, that thing went for 10 grand, and it was redonated, went for another 10 grand, redonated, and then went for 7. So every year it's like something that I want to continue doing for the Daytona, at least, is come up with something different, And me and Steve Casino with Steve's Morphs become really good friends, in the last few years. And we both realized that we were into the BMX stuff as kids. We're about the same age. I think he's 53, I'm 52. And we actually started like buying our own like 80s bikes and kind of restoring them and stuff. And then I was like, man, it'd be cool to do something like this for the Daytona auction. And I said, you want to go in? We'll do something together. We'll get a bike and, design it and, put it for USR. And that's how we come across it. A lot of people think the bike frame is a red line. Somebody else thought it was a GT. It's actually, it's a company that it was a couple guys that I think they raced or freestyle back in the 80s, and they wanted to start their own bike company. And it was like right before COVID, and it was called Prospect was the name of the bike company. It was like all 80s style, freestyle racing type they wanted to bring back. And they were only, you were only able to get those bikes through mail order. They weren't like in the stores. It was that early of a company. And because of COVID and because of not being able to get materials and anything, they kind of shut down. So there's not a whole lot of those frame and fork sets out there. So I ended up finding somebody that had this one here. Well, you could probably pull the picture up better than what I can show. And one of the guys where I take a lot of my bike frames that I've restored, there you go, where I restored them myself is this guy. He specializes in powder coating BMX bikes, like from the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. His name is Chad. He's an Orlando Powder Room is the name of his company. He's got a YouTube channel and all that stuff. So he actually donated the powder coating. So he bead blasted this frame and forks in the bars and powder coated it the white, and then had these special stickers that you can't use regular stickers when you powder coat, or if you put it underneath the clear coat, you got to use special type of stickers. I can't remember the name that he used for it or whatever it was called, but he ended up making the custom stickers. It's underneath the clear coat and all that. So it was done very professional how it looks, and then me and Steve just like bought all the different parts and stuff and put it together. And
that's gonna be the superstar, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of people messaging me stuff about it and everything. So
yeah,
I think I might even bid on it. I think Steve said he's gonna bid on it. So
yeah, that's definitely gonna be the superstar.
Yeah. So the original bike, you know, when it first came out, the Prospect, they were going for, I believe, $750, and that's, you know, that's the complete bike. But that's when you were able to mail order and get those. That's what the price range was for those. And then, of course, we customized it and add some, you know, higher end parts to it and stuff like that. So, and then for real 3D printing,
Paul.
yeah, Paul McIntyre. Is it for real 3D printing and design, right? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Design.
Okay. So he's also another sponsor. He's the one that actually picked up the pads and printed the pads for us for the bike.
Yeah,
So
that's
it was
my
actually, yeah.
Nice, yeah, man. That's definitely gonna be a showstopper. I'm interested to see what that goes for.
Steve's actually going to ride the bike up onto the stage. And do you guys know what a cherry picker is?
Yeah.
He's going to do the cherry picker on that bike.
What's a cherry picker?
Oh, it's a freestyle trick where he has the front wheel up in the air and his crotch is hanging over the where the forks and the handlebars meet, and he bounces.
We don't need Steve to get hurt, bro. All
Yeah,
right?
no ladder incidents for Steve now. We don't need any.
That's enough surgery, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Steve,
get it out there where everybody. I'm going to start a rumor where, yeah, I heard you doing a cherry picker with that bike before the auction. So let's spread that rumor. I want everybody to like message him and ask him that.
Yeah, I definitely message him. You committed now, bro.
So we're hoping it brings in a decent amount. The only thing, like when I did the money box, it's like as soon as that auction was over, I got excited for it, man. It was kind of neat to see something that I just an idea that I did, you know, as far as the money box raised so much money. It raised $28,000 that year for a little box that took me like 2 hours to build. I had my daughter paint a bunch of question marks on it and stuff like that. The guitar, I think that originally went to Eugene Bissett. I think he paid like $2,400 for it, but he redonated it. And then the following year, somebody else, I think, got it for like $4,000 and they redonated it again. And then I think Jesse from Freedom Breeder has it now. And what I understand, I think he wants it to be one of those things like the staff where he gets redonated every year. And then whoever wins it signs the guitar. So, I mean, like when I found that out, I thought that was pretty neat. You know, it just kind of gets me pumped to figure out what I want to do each, you know, following year. So
that's dope. Man. That's real dope. That's a lot of money raised for US Art too.
Yeah.
So, as far as like vending the shows, and y'all might have touched on some of this already, but like, what's y'all's biggest challenges, like with vending, and how do you overcome it?
Traffic. I'm in St. Pete, man, and I gotta drive down to Daytona on a Friday, man. It's like normally it would take me like 2.5 hours, but I think last year or the year before it took like 4.5 hours just because of traffic and stuff, man. It sucks. But no, there's really, you know, besides that, I own my own business. I'm a cabinet installer, so I could take off whatever days I need to take off or whatever. But my wife, it's a little tricky because she's a school teacher, and they're limited to like how many days she can miss for when we do these shows and stuff. So that's probably, as far as us, the biggest challenge. However, the shows, I love doing them, man. I start like fiending if I don't do one. I'd like to do one every couple weeks if I could. I just like, I don't know what the atmosphere, the people. I just like vending them, you know, even though you're just, you know, talking and standing and, you know, you're not doing like physical hard labor in heat or anything like I'm used to doing. But Sunday, you're beat, you know, mentally and physically you're beat. But I just have such a blast doing the shows, you know, through the weekend. So.
For me, I do about 30 shows a year now. For me, I'm good. I'm usually really tired on Saturday. I go to sleep early. We usually, since a lot of shows are in Central Florida, we get to see a lot of family. For my wife, though, once in a while, it's a little bit of a pain because she does, like Jeannie, she has her own job as well. So for me, when I come back, the schedule gets a little bit more, I guess, a little rougher, a little bit more condensed. But I mean, it's all good. Much like Jeremy, I had, I'm pretty much sold out right now till I hatch all these animals. And I skipped a few shows, and I was feeling it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I need it, bro. I think 2 shows a month would be nice for me, but there's months where there's 4 shows. That's fucking nuts. So
Yeah.
But yeah,
4 shows might be a little much. 2 shows.
I love vending, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love sharing my passion, and I love making money, or at least being in position to make money,
Yep.
So like the 4 shows per week, like logistically with the animals, like how do you manage that? Like in terms of like you have the animals like in a separate spot, and like how you like managing like with feeders and stuff like that, or are they okay?
I mean, for me, those weeks, I'll pick and choose what to take. The animals are already nice and solid. They're eating good. I mean, it is taxing on the animal. I'll tell you that. I don't like to take anything to the show that's under 100 grams. It's for them, it's a little bit more difficult. Anything that's 150 grams and up, Corey, Jeremy, tell me what you think. I think they're solid.
I've heard of some people that do a lot of shows actually rotate. Like they have certain animals they'll bring, and then they'll give them, the next show off, and then bring another set. When you were saying that about the feeding, I know you guys know who Joe Kenny is, right?
Yeah.
I asked him a question, because I don't feed any of my hatchlings a week prior to the show, just because you don't want any poops or anything like that. And we were in the conversation, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and I asked Joe, I said, what do you do? And he goes, oh, I feed them. I just put the mouse right inside the display case and let them eat on the way to the show. That was funny. That just kicked in my head. I thought I'd share that.
Yeah,
I was like, I didn't know Joe at the time, so I didn't know how his personality was. And I'm like, I walked away, and I'm like, you hear what that guy just said? Fuck Joe, man, don't worry about it.
I mean, the odds of getting a regurg are a little higher there, buddy.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah, he's a trip.
But yeah, when you have plenty of animals, what Jeremy's saying is 100%. Maybe take this rack and not that rack. I mean,
I haven't done as many as you, and so tight, so I wouldn't know really, to be honest. But yeah, I was just saying that I heard there's a couple of people I heard where they'll give some, like if it's 4 shows in a month or something, they'll take one set of animals to 2 of the shows and the other to the other 2 or whatever. So
yeah, I was low all year, so thank God I'm gonna have plenty this year, probably to take me to hopefully Daytona 2025. I want to finally do the show. I'm always sold out.
Yeah,
I never get to do Daytona.
Yeah.
Well, man, I hope there is a Daytona 2025.
It will be. Somebody will pick it up.
No, they won't. They won't reassign that building after Wayne Hill's gone. That's what I heard. That.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if something happens where he's no longer doing the show, from what I understand, the venue is no longer going to have the Reptile, which I don't get. But I heard that they're not going to let anybody else do it after Wayne Hill, which kind of sucks.
Has he said when he's going to get out? Because I've heard like some talk about it, like he was trying to get out, he was trying to sell it, stuff like that. But has he said?
He's been trying to sell it for a few years, but from what I understand, he's kind of high on the price. So you're just paying for the name, basically. But he's only getting older too, and his health is not the best. So hopefully he'll be around for several more years and stuff. But I always wonder, like last 2 years, I was like, oh, is this going to be the last year at this show? And so if you guys are on the fence about going this time in the next 2 weeks or whatever, you might want to try to do it because it could be the very last one. You never know. Have any of you guys heard that about the venue not letting anybody else in there doing the Reptile thing? Or, I mean,
like I can't say where I heard it, but I have heard like something like that. I talked to him like I don't know, like 2.5 weeks ago, and he was talking as if everything was on for 2025. But I don't know, like maybe that's just part of like his normal like spiel or whatever. But he was talking like as if everything was going to be on for 2025.
Yeah, I hope so.
There's a new shark in town, so that shark will take it over.
Yeah, it's the venue though that
Well, I mean, even if he has to go somewhere else, bro, the show must go on. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
Which I don't get it. I mean, that you see how packed that place is that weekend. You know what I mean? And the hotels and all that. That's a lot of money that show's bringing to that community. I'm surprised that there's even talks that they wouldn't, release that venue for reptiles. I don't know why.
I don't think it's just reptiles. I think it's a city thing, and I think it's live animals. And I think Wayne.
Oh, it's a city thing. It's not the venue itself.
Well, I believe the venue is owned by the city. It's not a private.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Daytona Beach Ocean Center.
Yeah.
So I think it's a thing to do with the city, and I don't think they allow. I could be mistaken, but this is my understanding. I don't believe that they allow any more live animal exhibits or shows or anything in there anymore. But I believe this expo is grandfathered in and still allowed to do the show there.
Yeah, and is it grandfathered in to like specifically Wayne Hill?
I don't know that it is. I don't know that,
Okay. Because that's it kind of makes sense that's something, because he's been doing this for This is 35 years this year.
Yeah, 35th.
Oh, I mean, at this venue though, how long has it been at this particular venue?
I don't know. The first one I started in 2012, and that's the first time I went to Daytona. So I don't know. I don't know when the first one was in Daytona.
Yeah,
35 years include when they were in Orlando.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So I mean, maybe that's why he's asking for so much, because he has a contract that would take, who knows how long the contract is, but that's the only way he's going to get that much money.
Right.
Yeah, it's possible that could be it too. It's all rumors, and I've been hearing it from a bunch of different sources, but take it as it is. It's just a rumor that, what I already said. So, but what Corey just said kind of almost verifies that a little bit too, with the city not allowing animals, so.
Is it like a city ordinance or just like the policy of somebody at the city?
I just believe it's with the venue and live animals. I think that they don't bringing anything new in there, like if they had dog shows or cat shows or something like that, or things like that in the past, and maybe an incident happened and they don't want any more, and they're not renewing some other things that might have canceled. But I think Wayne's been there long enough and is in the NRBE brand is grandfathered into the venue.
One of the things I hear a lot why people like going to that show is because of the venue and the location and being on the beach and all that stuff that goes along with it. So that's I'm hoping that they, if it does continue for another 10-15 years, if somebody else has to take it over or whatever. But
I'm gonna tell you guys this, and you guys tell me your favorite shows. I know I'm a Florida guy. I've been to Tinley. I've been to the Super Show. I've been to a couple reptilians. I've been to Arlington. Daytona's still my favorite show.
Still my favorite.
Yeah.
It's
in my backyard. So it's it was my first show ever. It's my 10th year. It's probably my favorite show, and then Tinley.
It's the vibe, bro. The vibe.
Yeah.
The ocean, like it's a history. Forget it.
Yeah. It's home. It kind of feels like home versus like if you're in Tinley. Tinley's an awesome show too, but I don't know. It's just different. You feel like you're, I guess, like in your house or something when you're at Daytona.
Yeah.
Actually, the Tampa Repticon, I always do better there myself than I do at Daytona, but it could be because I don't have, because the animals that I have, the price range or something. But
right.
But I'd say Daytona is probably one of my favorites as far as being at the show and all that. And then Tinley's a good show too. The only thing is with that is how crowded and tight it is in there. You know, so I can't walk and check things out and stuff when you can at Daytona.
Yeah,
I think
Daytona.
having the second room for the last few years has really opened up space for aisle space at Daytona. You know,
Yeah.
'cause,
How do you feel about that second room? Do you prefer it, or do you like it better if they just moved everything into the main room? Because I feel like they can fit everybody in the main room, and I know there's a lot of issues and controversy the first time they did that with the second room.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, if it allows and people don't object to it and they don't mind, you know, being wherever, I guess I don't really see any problem with it. It's just allowing sure that they could fit everybody in there, but then we'd be looking at a scenario like, you know, how many vendors are in that other room? Is there 50 vendors? I don't know how many vendors are over there. You know, add another aisle and then you crunch the aisles in and it's not as, you know, easy to navigate. It becomes closer to like a Tinley scenario where, you know, you're just backed up, you know, aisle to aisle, and it's crowded. I like the more open aspects of the Daytona show, you know.
Yeah, I guess this is what, the third year now that they had the two rooms.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe it's the third year.
I remember the first year we were in the first room, but I remember there was a lot of angry people in the second room. Then everybody was angry in the first room because they let everybody in the second room first. I think that nobody just knew what was happening, and it was a bunch of confusion. But now that it's gone on the fourth year with the two rooms, it should be much better now. So
sorry guys, gotta keep it real. That second room looks like a fucking Repticon.
Oh man.
Sorry. And bro, y'all wouldn't like to be in that room. Tell the truth.
I would be in the second room, but that's because I signed up late.
Nah, but you don't like it. You don't like it. No. I say put everybody in the main room, bro. Somehow. Or put less vendors. I don't know. That's me.
I kind of agree with you. That's what I was asking Corey, like what his thoughts were on, you know, because I feel like everybody could fit in that main room because I've done that show for a few years now. And it seems like with the second room, there's a lot of really wide aisles and stuff. I feel like you could pinch it in a little bit and still have plenty of room to navigate and stuff like that with everybody in one room. But
I surely think it could happen. Obviously, I think it could happen. In the past, I would have said probably not, because they used to have the concessions all the way over by the dock area. Okay, that's where the food court area used to be. But now that they've moved that out into basically the hallway, the entranceway, the concessions, now there's plenty of room that I feel like, you know, that concession area took up 2 solid aisles, you know, of vending space, and they moved it out now into the hall because they used to have not just the concessions, but tables you could sit at over there. And now that's all gone and outside. So I feel like it could all fit in there, you know. I don't know. I've always been in the main room. I walk over the last couple of years, and I know people that are over there, and I'll walk over and see what's going on, you know. But it doesn't have the same feel as the main room, you know. I mean, I'll say that. Yeah, I'll admit that. But
all right, you say you walk over there. I got another question, Corey. Do you vend? Do you have other people at your table helping you, or do you do it solo?
My son's generally there, so he can help me out, and then I've got a friend that helps me out occasionally. You know, he'll come to my table, and you know, one year I didn't have any help. I think it was 2 years. It's probably back maybe 16, 17, 18. I didn't have any help for the whole weekend. I just hired the girl at the local pet shop that I knew, and she helped me out. And I'm like, I want you to handle these displays down here. Anybody that comes up down here, I want you to handle these. I'll kind of work this side of the tables. And so I've always had at least somebody, you know, give me a hand. It's not, you can't just be there by yourself at a show like that. And if you have to use the restroom, or you have to go get something to drink, you didn't bring something or whatever, you got to step away for a minute. You just can't leave your table vacant, so you have to have somebody.
If I have to use the restroom, I just go in one of the display cases and blame it on the snake.
I mean, whatever you gotta do. But I'm just, you got to take one quick trip away, or you got to, maybe you're trying to make a deal with somebody that's going to be there, that's got something that you want, and still, I mean, you just have to leave your table vacant. So, I got to leave my son there, or have my friend come over and who knows what I got,
I know Emilio, he has Paul that you guys usually tag teaming a lot, right? And then your wife goes to a lot of the shows as well. And then, Jeannie, she's always with me at the shows. I couldn't remember if you had help or not. That's what I was wondering. You're talking about walking over and checking out the other side of the room too. So that's why
my son was with me. So, he was with me last year. He'll be with me again this year. And so I'll walk over there and see what's going on. And, I like to walk around and see what's available. You don't see everything, in one trip, but I get an idea. There's a couple people I might see that they're bringing something, or that they're working projects that I'm interested in, and so I might want to go see what they got at their table. So we have time to do that a little bit on Thursday and Friday, during the setup. But I don't know.
Do you like that they've opened it up like on Friday for like certain people to pay like for the VIP, and then people can come and walk around and stuff like that? Do y'all like that? I think last year was the first year that they did it, and they brought it back this year.
I think it's okay. I mean, I wish that sometimes they would give us some of the shows I don't like to see like VIP and vendors open at 10 o'clock. Like, I'd like to get in and at least have a half an hour or an hour, uncover my table, clean up any messes that are in displays, and then let everybody else in, the VIPs, and then maybe, an hour after or whatever. But a lot of the shows are letting vendors and VIPs like 10 o'clock, everybody in,
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I'd like to have a little bit of time to just go over and make sure that, uncover the table, get the lights on, be ready, be at the table ready, check all the animals over, and make sure you don't need to clean any displays. That's the only thing. What's that take? A half an hour, an hour? I don't think it's going to hurt anybody, but just, to have a big rush of, because sometimes we walk in, and if you walk in with everybody else, there's a line, you've got people walking by your table before it's even uncovered.
Yeah.
I never even thought about it from that perspective, but you're absolutely right.
It's half an hour. That's all we need, to get the table opened up, lights on, make sure the displays are all cleaned up. If anybody's not
it's all presentation.
Yeah. Pull your tablecloths off your displays, and you've got 5 tubs that you got to clean. That takes time. So
then somebody come by with their camera and posting it on the reel. Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. You don't need that. You don't need that out there. But I mean, everybody realizes that it happens, right?
Right.
So, but it's just not something that you want to have. Like you say, somebody posts a reel or doing a walk by of your table, and there's 2 animals that you just took the tablecloth off and turned the lights on 2 minutes ago.
It won't say that on that reel, though.
No, it won't say that on the reel. It'll be like, oh, look at this mess. That's all. It can happen at any point in the day, but just give us a little bit of time in the morning to get opened up.
Yeah.
So,
Facts. Well, guys, man, we pushing an hour and 40 minutes, man. Time passed by like super quick.
Yeah, it was good.
Cool. So, kind of a wrap up question for you. So, in terms of like next plans and stuff like that, like, is there anything big that y'all want to tell folks to be on the lookout for?
Who's going first?
You go, Jeremy. Talk about that new animal you hit, bro.
Yeah, I got to come up with a different name for that. All right, how much time do we have?
Oh, whatever.
What's yours, brother?
I don't have a bedtime.
All right. Yeah. So this is a new animal that I just hatched out, and it could be something that's like a new recessive, just by the way I bred it and stuff. Yeah, want me to show it real quick or no?
Yeah, we'll put you on the ISO.
Bring it up.
I was gonna just name it to put something on my racks because I do have some other. I was gonna call it the Reptile, but apparently there's already a Reptile out there.
So I already see that pattern is crazy. And
Yeah.
so what was the pairing on this?
So the pairing was a pastel, double het, desert ghost pied to a pastel desert ghost het pied. And if I show you something real quick, if I can see the little spots underneath the eye, or
Yeah, I see that.
4 little dots there. Okay, so how this came about was I bought probably 6 years ago a desert ghost pied, or no, it was a pastel desert ghost.
Before you put them up, what's the belly look like? Just
Nothing.
clear white.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. It's got some chaining like behind the neck here. Well, I'm trying to show them, but it's bad. I don't know. It's not. Anyway, so the pairing. Let me show this one off too. So this is either a pastel, maybe super pastel DG pied that I got out of there. See the dots underneath the eye there?
Yeah.
Same dots. I don't know if that looks a little funkier to you than a regular DG pied or pastel DG pied. I've had a lot of people tell me they've made some. I'm trying to show the back of the neck there. It's very high white. All right, so how this happened was it's like 6 or 7 years ago. I bought a pastel desert ghost, and I had just a regular clown and a regular pied. I wanted to make some double hets, so I put that pastel desert ghost to the clown and the pied. Found out when I put it to the clown, I ended up with kryptons. So that pastel desert ghost ended up being het cryptic. And I put it to the pied, I ended up getting 3 females. I got a pastel double het, because now it's double het DG pied, and I got 2 normal double hets. So I bred, and I also got a male pastel double het. So I bred the male pastel double het, and only one of the girls went that year. And I ended up getting a pastel desert ghost, and I had it shed tested for pied because it would have been 66 het pied, and ended up coming back 100% het pied. So then that male, I raised him up, and I put him back to the same mother that he came from, and that's where those things came from. So it was line bred. And I also put that same father of this to one of the sisters. I have the 2 sisters of the great grandparents, right? Is that what it would be? Great grandparents? Yeah, so I have the 2 sisters, so I got a clutch in the incubator from that. Now, the pied, I no longer have that female pied, but I know it was like one of those things where when I got it, it was possible orange dream. It just looked a little different. It was high white. Never got any orange dreams or anything out of that. So I just kind of sold it off, I don't know, a couple years ago. And I'm thinking it could be just a one-off thing where I got some crazy looking funky snake like that, or because it was all line bred the way I just explained, it could have been something like a het, whatever that thing is, in maybe that pied female originally, and then me line breeding finally got those 2 hets together and popped that thing out. So it's obviously one of those things I got to figure out and work and all that stuff still. But
in that first one you showed, that was a male, you said?
They're both males, yeah.
They're both males, okay.
Yeah, and the first one I showed is also het desert ghost because the father was a visual desert ghost. I want to get it shed tested. I know it's at least 1 copy of pastel. I don't know if it's 2 or not. And I could, if the grandmother's sister just gave me a clutch when they hatched out the same day, actually. So if I end up getting something funky in there too, and it is a new recessive that I unlocked, and it ends up being in the grandmother's sister, then right there saves me, trying to prove out to see if it's a recessive or not. And if not, then obviously I'll have to take that, put it back to the mom, and see if I can recreate it.
Yeah.
I've been asking everybody, and everybody says, "Oh yeah, sometimes my pastels throw some weird stuff, and they'll send me pictures, and it'll be, a little bit of blotchiness, or nothing like that though."
Yeah,
So
that was
anybody
crazy.
out
Yeah,
there
that's
that
neat.
has ever created anything that looks like a monsoon that's got road rash was one of the names I thought about. But if anybody has ever come across anything like that and it just what ended up being a one-off, let me know, because I'm curious to know if this is something that was hidden that I unlocked, or is it just a one-off? So, but anyway, there's that whole story there.
Yeah, as soon as you pull that out, I can automatically see like what was crazy going on there. So yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, when I first posted that picture, I had so many different. My phone was like all day long, people calling me, texting me, and asking me all these questions. And I've mentioned it a few times how I come across it. So I'm hoping it's something cool. That would definitely push us forward.
Yeah, that'll be super dope, man. I'm hoping it turns out to be something cool too, man.
Yeah, and I've been noticing it's been getting like these, like it's already had 3 males, and the little bit of like an orange tone coming up through it too. So, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep everybody posted, and it may take a few years to see if I can recreate it, and if not, if it's a one-off, then it was still a cool-looking snake and something still that was exciting. But let's see what happens.
True. What about you, Emilio?
For me, working Axanthic into some new genes, my passion project. I'm an Axanthic guy, VPI guy through and through. Getting these new genes and working them hard. V unit growth, the V unit subscription. Anyone out there that wants to join an amazing family that's popping all day, in the chat, in the Discord, video chats, our shit's popping all day. If you join, any sub fees are credited towards 2024 animals. Bro, mad growth. We talk about the whole reptile industry as a whole. So that's it. V unit growth, my collection growth. I'm in this for the long haul forever. I'm going to do this to the day I die. I love these animals, and now I'm focused on becoming more of a complete reptile keeper overall. So, and at the end of the day, growing the industry, man, because I take pride in that. And, hopefully we all do this together, and, through USARC and whatnot, continue to make what we love bigger and better every day.
Emilio, we'll be walking around together with hunchbacks and canes and all that shit, still breeding snakes. Because I feel you too, man. I'm not going anywhere. I love this too much, and I'll be in this for a long time.
I wake up every day loving what I do, bro.
Yeah.
So,
all day long at work. I work by myself all day long. I'm always listening to these shows right here. Listen to playbacks, and I don't listen to music. That's how much I love this. I've been doing that for years. I learned a lot of shit just listening to all that stuff all day long. But your turn, Corey.
Take us home.
Oh, I don't know if I have anything like that. I don't have anything new genetics I'm going to show off. I just like the aspect of, and I don't have any of this on the ground yet, so it's not a Daytona show off thing, but I just like taking the genes that I personally like and trying to see how they interact with each other. So I mentioned some of my favorite genes, and this is not just in clown, but I have a lot of these base genes in clowns, and so I like the Wookiee stuff and the Cypress stuff and Hurricane stuff and Confusion. So I'm trying to work different angles on some of those projects, getting those genes that I have a strong base in clown already and transferring that into some other projects. So You know, I'm not saying I'm going to have any of that to show off at Daytona, but obviously, you know, later in the year, I could have some of that to show off. So, you know, it's all about just experimenting, you know, putting your mind, trying to create an imagination of what something, you know, might look like that you think would be appealing to the eye. Doesn't have to be appealing to everybody's eye, but if it's appealing to a handful of eyes, you know, and strikes some interest, then I think that I'm pursuing things that are worthwhile. And that's, in the end, it satisfies my curiosity on what it may look like. And I might make something super cool, and I might make something that's a bust, but you don't know until you actually do it, and that's part of the fun. So, you know, I might have something that's sitting on the table at Daytona. I'm sure that, you know, that nobody else has seen or nobody else has made. There might be one or two of those there, but not anything super special, you know.
Has the Cypress Confusion been done yet?
I don't know. I can't say that has, but you know,
I don't think so.
I don't think
You're
so.
just talking about those jeans. I
Yeah.
have a lot of those. Well, I don't have a ton of Confusion, but a lot of
Yeah.
the other stuff I have. And
yeah.
I wonder what a
So-
Cypress Confusion will look like.
Yeah, I mean, those are all. I'm taking a lot of those, what I'll call busy pattern jeans. Okay, not necessarily color, but we can all agree that, you know, Cypress is fairly busy. Confusion is definitely busy. You know, Wookiee and definitely not as busy, but I like what it does in some combinations. So trying to, and Hurricane, obviously. So I like trying to experiment with those different things and seeing, like, I made some Confusion Wookiee stuff last year that was just crazy, you know? And so I'll continue to try to push the envelope on some pairings that are unique, I think are unique, you know, to my collection, and maybe somebody else could do it. You know, I had some really cool stuff that I saw Will Nussman hit last year. It was a Cypress. What was that now? I made one. It was like had Cypress in it, and I sold this darn thing, and I can't remember. It's like Cypress and Wookiee. I made some of that stuff, and I'm like, that is a pretty cool looking animal. And I was kind of sorry that I ended up selling that. But just things like that, you know, just working in different projects and you know, things that I like, and a good handful of other people seem to like them.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of
You got
Cypress.
any pictures of that animal, the
Yeah.
Cypress Wookiee animal?
What's that?
You got any pictures of the Cypress?
Probably. I'd have to dig some up. I don't know if I could put it on my phone here.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to dig it up now. But
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah.
interesting to see it, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I'm a really big Cypress fan.
Yeah,
Me
yeah,
too.
I really do like it. I've put it into some freeway stuff. It's done some really neat stuff in freeway, like not what I would have expected it to do. So I'm still playing with the Cypress in some freeway stuff, and that's really interesting. So I'll carry that over into some other projects as well.
That's one of the clutches I just put away today was the Cypress. They all shed out.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's one of my favorite jeans to work with. So yeah, I made
So-
a fire Cypress Batman that I bred this year. So that's a really cool animal that I've been working into some projects, you know. So
I got
Cool jeans to play with.
Cypress DG clowns. I got a male and a female that I made.
Okay, yeah.
You just posted those up a couple weeks ago, right? Or you posted at least one a couple weeks ago?
Who, me or Corey?
You.
Of the Cypress DG clown?
Yeah, did you post one?
I might have. I don't remember. I might have.
Yeah,
Or it might have been
that
one of
animal-
those things where it said a year ago today, and then I reshared it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yo, that
Okay.
animal is dope, Jeremy.
I showed it. I showed them last night on. I was on Jaffe's Instagram.
Show and tell.
Yeah, I showed them last night. So yeah, I got a male and a female. One's got the honey, the Cypress honey DG clown, and the other one's just a Cypress DG clown. And then I actually made a honey clown, which one I just put away today. They just had their first shed. That's the second honey clown I've ever made.
So, guys,
I
next year,
feel like
for me-
honey floating around a lot of that Cypress stuff.
yo, next year for me is year 20.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
You got to do a shirt, man, like KINOVA did.
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
Year 20. What the
20.
fuck?
Are you trying to pull your wrinkles down, man?
Bro, hey. I never, ever thought I'd be doing this full time. Never thought I'd be doing this for 20 years. Shit's wild.
My very first ball python, it was my daughter's 28. It was right before she was born. But then I didn't have anything until 2016 is when I like really started getting my collection started and stuff, you know. So I got a long ways before I hit that 20 mark, but I'll be there. I'll be there one day.
Crazy.
So
Yeah, that's
congrats, man. Congrats. You stuck it in this long.
Yeah.
You definitely.
I want to see your 30 years and your 40 years. Well, I don't know about 40 years. I want to see your 30-year shirt, though.
Yeah, you definitely got to make a shirt, bro.
Yeah.
You can't just let that pass without celebrating.
Yeah, 40 years, they'll have one of those damn fucking walkers with the golf balls or the tennis balls.
Hey, Jeremy. Let's plan to never use walkers, okay?
Yeah.
Oh man,
that walker talk is.
No, we'll have flying walkers by then. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
we won't have walkers. We'll have like drones and shit that we're gonna hold on to in this
conversation. That's a whole other conversation. But they're talking about fucking reverse aging.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast episode for real. But yeah, like, we can talk about that. Like,
well, we need to get one from my dog, man, because he's like 9 years old, man. I love that boy.
Yeah, I've been hearing that same thing, bro. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I think we're gonna see that in our lifetime, bro.
I think so too. It's crazy, like technology, like with the way it's growing exponentially.
Not unless you're a big roller that has 6-car garage doors and shit, or 6-car garages. You're not gonna afford that reverse aging shit, man.
No. You can thank my dad for that, man.
He's gonna get it first.
Yeah.
As long as I get it in time. Cool. All right, guys, man. Well, it's been an amazing episode, man. Definitely looking forward to chat with y'all next weekend, man. It'll be here before you know it, man. It's been great, man. Yeah.
Thanks for having us. Everybody, kick it off on Wednesday with Leviathans pre-Daytona, the Red Line Road Trip, the first episode. That should be a good one. I've got a preview of it. It's going to be a good episode. And the series is going to be really good.
Is that going to be at your house? I mean, did he record it already or no?
It's already recorded. It's been recorded for a hot minute. It's been recorded for a hot minute, but a good episode. And he's going to have several episodes. I think. Look at his Instagram page. He outlined, I think, what shows he's going to be doing these things at. Daytona's the first one. So.
Yeah, they've been working on this for a minute. Like this whole kind of red line.
I think he's been to my place. I think he's been to Bob's place. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of interesting people, and I'm super humbled to have been selected to be on that. Those guys are really nice to include me. Should be a good kickoff for Daytona, and we'll get it started.
Thanks. Big shouts out to Leviathan.
Yeah.
Ooh, and big shout out to everybody who's in the chat tonight. Shout out to the replay game, man. We appreciate all the support each and every week. That's going to do it for this episode for Clutch Conversations. I'm Mike. The lovely lady behind the scenes is Takar. Thank y'all for coming out. Be blessed. Peace.
Hey, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir.
Everybody.
I step up in the spot, they know the deal. Chillin' with that thrill. From the bottom to the top, I'm the king of the hill. Still eyes on me, feel the heat. It's a thrill feel. Got the shine in my hand, man. It's giving them chills. Still they wanna taste, they wanna see what's in my sleep. Believe got that fire in my grip. Yeah, they need the fiend. No counterfeit, no tricks. Just the realest thing, pure and uncut. Got them down, dropping to your knees. Freeze. It's that glass, baby, crystal clean, pristine. Make you wanna dive deep like you living in a dream. Got them hooked on the vibe like an addicted fiend. It's that glass, baby, you know what I mean. In the night it glows, whole place lit, can't quit. Every eyes on me, they can't handle this shit. Hit, feel the rush, feel the push, yeah, it's too legit bliss. Once you get a taste, ain't no way you'll quit this. Pure like the rain, cold like the snow. Yo, they crave for the touch, yeah, they wanna know. Dope, what's the secret? different mojo, got that perfect glow, you know. Take a hit of this life, let your worries go slow, slow. That glass, baby, crystal clean, pristine, make you wanna dive deep like you living in a dream. Got 'em hooked on the vibe like an addicted fiend. This that glass, baby, you know what I mean. They come from miles around just to get a glimpse. Whispering in the dark, making deals with pimps. Got that high grade shit, make the whole world limp. Glimpse, I'm the dealer of dreams, call me the main event set. Ain't no fakes, ain't no lies, it's the realest deal. Chill, got 'em looking for that glass, yeah, they love to feel real. I'm the plug, I'm the source, got that golden seal. This that glass, baby, now you know it's real. This that glass, baby, crystal clean, pristine, make you wanna dive deep like you living in a dream. Got 'em hooked on the vibe like an addicted fiend. This that glass, baby, you know what I mean. In the end, they all come back, craving more and more. Once you get a taste, ain't no closing that door. I'm the king of the game, hear the lion roar. This that glass, baby, and it's what you're here for. Hear the lion